just always been very quiet, very calm, very safe.
But this quiet community rocked by a double murder early Sunday morning.
Someone contacted me and asked if I was okay, and I was very curious and concerned. Everybody's just completely horrified and shocked and saddened too. It's just a very sad situation.
There were 4 children inside the home at the time of the shooting. They were not hurt, but they hid for hours until they felt safe to see what happened.
Clearly, it's a significant trauma and a significant loss to these kids, and their whole world's being turned upside down.
Investigators revealed a couple was found dead inside of a New Market home after being fired at more than 40 times.
"33-year-old Cremia Baker was a courageous and hard-working woman, known for her infectious laughter and radiant spirit.
Now it has more security.
Tennessee. Just kidding. Hey guys.
Are those pennies?
Hey,
Those are pennies, Mom. This thing is actually metal.
Got these babies up in these mountains. National.
Originally from Illinois, she had an extraordinary light that shined effortlessly, captivating those around her. Above all, Cremia was an intentional and devoted mother of 4, raising her children to be resilient, thoughtful, and tender-hearted. Her love for children extended beyond her own, as she was the owner of Children Matter First, providing applied behavioral analysis therapy for children based in the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia areas, providing them with tools needed to succeed both in and out of the classroom. At this point in her life, Cremia seemed to be in a place of safety and peace. She had recently moved into a beautiful home, was raising her 4 wonderful children, and appeared to be in a happy and healthy relationship. As she always did, Cremia lovingly tucked her children into bed and kissed them goodnight, never imagining that it would be the last time she would see or speak to them. Around 7 a.m. on August 25th, Frederick County sheriffs responded to a home in the 7,000 block of Mandelong Court for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would locate an unresponsive adult female and an adult male lying in bed.
I was talking to another neighbor, and she had said they had put the children in the police cruiser, and I saw them bring the dog out and actually put the dog in the animal control truck. They said the children were fine.
Julie Turner, one of several neighbors coming out to her neighboring road, Mandelong Court in New Market, blocked off by police tape this Sunday. Frederick County Sheriff's Office says deputies came to a home here around 7 o'clock this morning for a shooting call. That's when they found 2 adults dead inside the home and 4 children who deputies say were not hurt.
The victims were identified as 33-year-old Cremia Baker and the father of one of her children, 34-year-old Sean Lang, who were both sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds. Over 40 rounds of ammunition, 42 to be exact, were located in the bed and multiple areas of the room. Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins described the double homicide as a rage killing by an angry, enraged person that deeply shocked the entire Frederick County community. Law enforcement were unsure if the 2 were involved in a romantic relationship. However, it was confirmed that Sean stayed at the home for several days leading up to the murders. Sean was the father of one of Cremia's 4 children, all of whom are under the age of 13. Fortunately, the children were unharmed and were the ones who called 911 around 7 a.m. that morning. Based on the children's account, the incident occurred around 1:30 in the morning. They hid inside the home until morning until they felt safe enough to figure out what had happened. Once the children emerged from their hiding spot, they would discover their mother, along with Sean, deceased in bed. Neighbors mentioned that the family had moved into the neighborhood about 8 months ago, with no signs of anything unusual.
It's shocking no matter where you live. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what your social status are, where you live. It just goes to show that violence can happen anywhere.
A death investigation happening right in her neighborhood, now leaving many concerned.
My heart breaks for those kids, and I just hope that they keep them together.
Friends describe 34-year-old Sean Lang as a truly unique individual, a devoted family man, an outstanding instructor, a remarkable athlete, and an even better chef. He was deeply respected in everything he did and was known for always encouraging others to pursue their dreams. Sean also spent some time in the military, further showcasing his dedication and commitment. Police have yet to determine the type of gun associated with the shell casings recovered from the scene, but they are collaborating with other local agencies to solve this case. Authorities have assured the public that there are no ongoing threats as the crime seems to have been targeted. But the question remains, why? And by whom? Who would break into a home and coldly murder a mother and father while their 4 children were nearby? Law enforcement is exploring robbery or drugs as possible motives. This tragic incident would undoubtedly alter the lives of Crimea's children forever.
Homicide happened around 1:30 Sunday morning, but the sheriff's office didn't arrive here until around 7 in the morning. Why the delay? They said the 4 kids that were inside the home were hiding for over 5.5 hours, and they called 911 when they felt it was safe to come out. We're up on a hill where you can see the backside of the home, and neighbors say investigators spent a lot of time in this backyard. The 2 victims have been identified as 33-year-old Crimea Baker and 34-year-old Sean Lang of Arlington. Both lived in this home and were were found dead in their bed. The sheriff's office says Baker is the mother of the 4 children and Lang is the father of one of those children. The oldest is 13, according to authorities. Neighbors say the youngest is a baby, not even a year old. All the children were found unharmed. Investigators say this was not a murder-suicide case. They say both victims were shot at a close range. Sheriff Chuck Jenkins says he's not seen a case like this in Frederick County.
This was really a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger. This is the type of crime that shocks the conscience of everyone in Frederick County. There's absolutely no reason, and let me repeat, absolutely no reason to believe that there's any further risk to the public or any threat to the public at large. And I want to assure the public today that we're doing everything we can. We have every available investigator, every agency resource we're going to put into this until the person or persons responsible are identified, arrested, and brought to justice.
Now, Sheriff Jenkins did not want to answer whether there was a break-in before the shooting. He also did not want to comment where the children are actually staying. Of course, we're talking about minors. Now, he's saying he's looking into all possibilities in this case, including whether it might be drug-related. There's still no description about possible suspects in this case. And I know he mentioned that there's no threat to the community, but I've been speaking to neighbors. They say they have been on edge since Sunday morning because they were trying to figure out what happened. They're talking about a massive crime scene that they woke up to.
A description of a suspect or suspects have not been pieced together at this time.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. My name is Katie Robine, spokesperson and public information officer for the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. We are here today to discuss the incident that occurred on Sunday, August 25th at approximately 7 a.m. in the 7000 block of Mandelon Court in Newmarket. Today, you will hear from Sheriff Chuck Jenkins, who will give you an update on this tragic incident and take questions from the media afterwards. Also behind me is Captain Sadat Kaliskan and Lieutenant Robert Deckhut. And now I'll turn it over to the Sheriff.
Thank you, Katie. Good afternoon. I want to start by expressing my sincere condolences to the families of the victims of this tragic incident. Also want to thank the press for your patience in giving us a couple days to pull everything together. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office has identified the victims who were found in the home as Crimea Melita Baker, and I'll spell that for you. First name Crimea, last name Baker, common spelling, 33 of Newmarket. The other male victim was Sean Antoine Lang, first name spelling Sean, last name spelling Lange, age 34, of Arlington, Virginia. There were also 4 children found unharmed in the home. When deputies arrived that morning, we will not be releasing their names or identities. So on Sunday morning at 7 a.m., deputies responded to a call for a shooting at the home on Mandelon Court. When they arrived, they found Crimea Baker and Sean Lang deceased, shot to death in the bed. Preliminary investigation indicates that the shooting occurred about 1:30 a.m. So right now, the detectives believe the victims were living together at the time of the shooting. Baker is the mother of all 4 children found inside the home. Mr. Lang is the father of one of the children. Our detectives are now investigating this as a double murder. At this time, there is no indication that this was a random killing, and we don't believe there's any threat to the community at large. This was clearly a rage killing by an angry, enraged person. There were 42 rounds fired at or into the victims at close range. 42 .40 caliber shell casings were recovered in the bedroom. We're in the early stages of the investigation. This was really a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger. This is the type of crime that shocks the conscience of everyone in Frederick County. There's absolutely no reason, and let me repeat, absolutely no reason to believe that there's any further risk to the public or any threat to the public at large. And I want to assure the public today that we're doing everything we can. We have every available investigator, every agency resource we're going to put into this until the person or persons responsible are identified, arrested, and brought to justice. So I'll now take a few questions.
Do you believe the suspect was known to the victims?
Based on what we know now, I would say yes, most likely, yes.
Any leads or description on who that person might be, man, woman?
No, not at this point. We have not developed any suspects.
Sheriff, is there any chance that this could have been a murder-suicide situation?
Absolutely not. This was absolutely a double homicide, a rage killing. And again, remember what I said, 42 shots fired at or into both individuals.
How are the children doing?
You know, obviously, I can't imagine what's going through their minds. One of the children discovered his mother and the gentleman in the bed dead at the time. So I can only say that their life is just destroyed. It's upside down right now.
Did one of them call police?
I'm not going to get into the details of the 911 call because that's really relevant close into the investigation. I don't want to disclose anything that could jeopardize it.
Age range for the kids at all?
No, I won't give the age. Well, let me say this, 13 and under, age 13 and under. I will go that far.
Sheriff, can you talk to us about the gap between, obviously, this happened at 1:30, your department responds, later on until 7 o'clock. Why was that delay?
The best we can put together right now, again, based on the conversations with the children, it happened about 1:30 in the morning, and we believe, based on what the children told us, that they hid in the house until morning, until they felt safe to try to figure out what had happened.
Was there any indication of a break-in in the house?
I'm not going to comment to that.
Obviously, the neighborhood, the county's on edge right now. I know you already said there's no threat. Is there anything substantial you can add to say, hey, this is why it is safe, that you don't need to worry? Because every neighbor we talk to is extremely worried.
I know they are, and I understand that. Certainly they have a right to be, but I will tell you, again, based on the type of killing this was, a rage, crime of passion killing, would lead you to believe, and I won't affirm this, but would lead you to believe that they were known to the killer and they were targeted, and I'll just leave it go at that.
Sheriff, there's a school that's like maybe a 20-second ride from the house. Is there any increased presence at that school today?
No increased presence. Our SRO that's assigned to that area, I'm sure, has paid a visit to the school, and I know that mental health people probably are working with the children.
Can you go over the weapons?
The only thing I will tell you is we recovered 42 .40 caliber shell casings. We don't know whether it was a handgun, carbine type rifle or whatever. We just don't know at this point.
Any words for the suspect if they happen to see our coverage of this today?
I can promise you this, again, like I said, we will put every available investigator, every resource into this, and we will go to no end to find the person or persons responsible and bring them to justice as they should be.
Are you able to disclose if the children are with any other family members, or if they're, any county services have been deployed to, help them in this?
I know that the social services, the Child Advocacy Center is involved. They were involved in the interviews of the children, so I'm sure they're keeping close in touch with the families and the kids.
Are you all getting help from federal resources or other agencies and possibly trying to track the weapon?
At this point, we are working with other local law enforcement agencies. We don't have the need right now to bring in any federal agencies. Any other questions? And again, I want to thank you for your patience. I know this happened 2 days ago, and to give us a couple days to pull everything together so that we don't piecemeal information out, I think the public is better.